Floki, you crazy.
Life try every night. Welcome to another episode of Mentors Mentality. I am Sabelo Hlongwane, otherwise known as Coach Sabza. Today's topic is going to be something that I really like to say to my players whenever they seem to have a lot to say, right? And the topic is show me, don't tell me. And as always, I will give soccer experience examples and relate that to life situations and how that lesson in the sport benefited me in life. So, show me, don't tell me stems from, what would I say? It's almost a sense of letting your effort or your actions speak for you, right? And I'm sure you've read, heard, or one or the other where somebody says, actions speak louder than words, right? So that's an example of show me, don't tell me. Or put your money where your mouth is. Pretty much a similar figure of speech in a sense of do what you say you're going to do if you intend to do it, but don't say you're going to do it and not do it, right? And so I learned this lesson just generally in sports or in soccer specifically. I recall many a time where I used to play for fun, but when I turned 15, I made a concrete decision, almost a verbal commitment, verbal contract with myself. And I'd say those around me as an immediate family by stating that I want to play soccer overseas, right? Looking back, I could have detailed it a little bit more because I did achieve that goal, but what I meant by it was I want to play professional soccer overseas, and that was my goal. Nonetheless, that was me saying it, right? The showing side of it came with a lot of action in a lot of different aspects and a lot of different things. I had to commit my time. So what did I want or what did I need in order to achieve that goal? Just generally, I needed to be fit. I needed to be a part of a team that played at a competitive level. At the development phase, I needed to be recognized for my national team. I needed to be more skillful. I needed to strengthen my weaknesses. I needed to fine-tune my strengths. I needed to recognize which were my strengths and which were my weaknesses. And so setting those minimal goals was my show, right? It was me putting my words into action. And waking up in the morning was one thing that it was a test of commitment, but waking up every single day an hour before my normal time for school allowed me to exercise first thing in the morning, and then right after school I could exercise as well. So in the morning I would mainly strengthen my body or hit the gym in that sense, and then in the afternoon I would work on the ball stuff. Not so much on the ball in the morning, but in the afternoon I'd spend time with the ball, strengthening my weaknesses, be it my left foot because I'm right foot dominant, or running with the ball at high speed because I have speed, but having that sense of control is very difficult the faster you run. And so I had to master that. Cutting angles and opening up my hips, just getting used to those little things, right? So I remember telling some of my friends too, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I only got the respect from my peers when I executed. But the talking side of it, a lot of my friends would say, man, now, right? They'll tell me, man, everything you've ever set your mind to do, you actually see it through. You told us you were going to do 1 and you've done it. You said you were going to do 2 and you've done it. You said you were going to do 3 and you've done that. And I'm not saying that to boast. It's just to say that there's a lot of discipline required in commitment, right? But the saying part of it is so important because you have to manifest it into existence. You have to say, this is what I want to achieve, right? And some people, I will say, I think Kanye West made this example of how some people say, don't tell people what you're going to achieve or what you want to do, just do it. And, and then after they can see it in fruition. And so you don't even need the words, right? And he disagrees with that. Kanye West says he believes that him stating what he's going to do manifests it, and whatever you as an outsider take from that it stems from you. So if you feel like, he's being boastful or he talks a lot, and he appreciates that because, they say haters can give you motivation, right? Because to him, he's expressing that he has what it takes to state it and still see it through. And I can relate a lot to that side of him. And so that's why when players are playing on the field and they tell me, hey, coach, I'm this good, I'm that good, or I'm this, I'm that. And I'll tell them, hey, man, just, okay, I appreciate your belief in yourself, but, actions speak louder than words, especially in the sport. So show me what you got. Don't tell me what you got. Show me. Same thing when I gave a coaching point and I say, hey, you need to do this a little bit more. Yeah, I will, coach. I've got you. I'm like, I don't need your answer, right? I don't really need your assurance in words. I need to see it in action, because without the action, I can't really tell whether you're taking the message that I'm giving you at this point in time. And so that's where I use the phrase, show me, don't tell me, a lot of the time. And I recall, like, at Central Baptist College, I was the assistant coach there, and players would laugh when they heard me say that, because they always thought, oh man, he's calling me out. It's not necessarily that. It's the reality of the situation. Show me that you understand what I'm saying. And if you can't show me, then maybe I'm wrong. And so I need to fix my coaching point to where it translates better to you and you understand exactly what I'm talking about. But if you say yes, but your actions say no, then your words don't matter. So show me, don't tell me, right? And what I would say as a piece of advice, apart from the experience in sport, just in life in general, I believe that, not that actions speak louder than words and that's where it ends, right? I believe that statement needs to be completed by saying actions speak louder than words when words are not used to manifest. But manifesting is important in my opinion, because it stems from that, right? The actions will come from that. And speaking it out shows that you have the courage, you have the belief, you have the trust in yourself. And you also allow for a support system to exist in people saying, you want to achieve that, somebody may encourage you and say, go for it, or you can do it, and that gives you, it's not to say without that you can't achieve it, but it's always good to have support in anything that you try to achieve. It's always good to have support. It can only benefit you to have support, right? So that's positive reinforcement. People saying, yeah, I believe you have what it takes. Or sometimes even if it's negative and they say, you kind of lack this and that, that might be a clue on a weakness that you don't recognize, right? And so the seeing it through part matters just as much as you caring to even say it. So if you are willing to say it, be willing to see it through and actually put your time in and invest in making sure that that outcome plays out the way that you would like it to, or the way that you believe and trust yourself to be able to execute, right? And a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people relate more to don't tell people, keep it to yourself. But at the same time, I find it difficult to do that just on the basis of we're people and people need people, right? We all need each other in order to operate to the max. Even the big time business owner needs the employees, right? Even the brain of the whole thing needs the executors, right? Because you can be trapped in thought. And sometimes you, being the one that thinks of the idea that is key, also needs to relate it to the people that don't care to think but care to do, right? Because we live in a world of thinkers and doers. And I think I've found myself, I know, right, that I've found myself thinking a lot on what I want to do because I'm in soccer, I'm in business. I want to do mentorship. I want to do life coaching. I want to do, I love music, so I'm invested in that. And cryptocurrencies, stock market. So pretty versatile in terms of just life in general. And so it's very easy to get caught up in a moment or a time of just thought and no action, right? But understanding seasons allows me to, transition between this part of my life compared to the other, this business compared to the other, this investment compared to the other, this team compared to my private sessions compared to team environments. And so understanding the seasons benefits me, right? And so whenever I'm focused on one in action, I'm able to focus on another in thought, right? So I would say, like, for example, if I am in season and it is college season, so my private sessions are not really as operational during that time of the year, then I could be planning on how I want my private sessions to operate. So that's purely in thought. That's just brainstorming, something that I could sit down and write. Whereas in action, I constantly have to be at the field thinking about the players that I have as a unit in a team, how to get the best out of them, what tactics work based on the talent pool that we have, the experience we have. That's all actionary stuff. I can run around and do that. I can, literally set cones down and run a drill. Whereas in thought, I allow myself to think past that and think of what is coming in 6 months' time. And so I never feel like I am, what would I say, like I'm behind or like I'm lacking or like I'm not moving towards the goals that I would like to achieve, because I'm able to delegate the seasons for each, which one deserves thought while the other one deserves action. And as one slows down, the other one picks up. So it keeps me throughout the year actively progressing. And, some of the mentors that I do follow on social media say things like, you can spend a lot of time. There's some that say you can spend too much time thinking and never doing. And then there's some that say doing one small thing per day can help you advance so many months ahead of time in a space of a year, right? So I would say that my advantage from a young age, just a characteristic I guess I've always had, was I always wanted to show after I spend time thinking. As I've matured, I've been able to better manage my time, because time management is key to so many things as you grow up. I wish I would have known that at a younger age, but knowing it now, I'm able to delegate, like I said, what needs my attention and when. So I understand the seasons, right? So my advice to you from this Show Me, Don't Tell Me segment would be just don't think you shouldn't spend time thinking and you should just spend time doing. But also don't think that you should just do and not spend time thinking, because there's lessons in both. And so I would say, as always, my biggest life lesson is balance in all aspects, be it physically, mentally, emotionally, anything that you might think of. I believe balance is key. And so I would say, in the show me, don't tell me aspect of life, take time to plan and then take time to act, right? But don't spend too much time thinking without action. And don't spend too much time acting without thought, because then you learn from mistakes, but some mistakes are avoidable if you can take time to think, right? And that is the only advice I would care to share in that regard. But as always, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. But in the comment section, just let me know of a time in your life that you might have been caught thinking and never acting. Because sometimes you think of a business concept and then you don't act on it. And then a few months later to a year, you see it actually work for somebody else, and you feel like maybe I should have, or I know I should have just taken the plunge, right? Or in some instances, please share where you thought of something but didn't really detail it, but acted on it, and it worked in your advantage because of the action side of it, where showing benefited you more than, just talking about it, or thinking about it rather. But yeah, as always, I really appreciate your time. I would care to learn from any of your experiences in the comment section. And that's all I have for today in the Show Me, Don't Tell Me episode. Coach Sabza out.
Damn, Floki, you crazy.
Lifetime. Every night.